What's up everybody, Steven here for Off the Shelf Movie Night to do a haul video for you. I've got a couple of these coming up, and you are going to think that I am a hardcore Steelbook collector because of these. It's not true. I have made it clear in the past that my opinion on Steelbooks is kind of that they have become more of just standard packaging for a lot of things and not so much collectible anymore. They used to be collectible, but it's a way that Best Buy has sort of crafted in partnership with studios to continue selling physical media, and I am in full support of that. I think it's great, and I will get the Steelbook if it's something that I don't already own. I'm not gonna necessarily upgrade for a Steelbook packaging because sometimes, honestly, the Steelbook packaging is not as good as a cool slipcover. But I do have some Steelbooks today. I've got two videos. This one and the next one are going to be Steelbook. The next one I think is I'm going to do all Disney because we did pick up a bunch of Disney Steelbooks. This one is not Disney. This is just a few things that I picked up that I just needed to add to my collection, and these are really solid, or what I hope to be really solid releases. So let's take a look at what I got. Okay, I'm going to try and do this one-handed because I didn't really prepare with a tripod and things. I mean, who wants to prepare anyway? So we've got the Humphrey Act over here. This is not a new 4K. This 4K has been out, but the only way you could get it previously was in a Jack Ryan box set, which, you know, I was contemplating buying if I found it cheap enough, but those Chris Pine, the Chris Pine Jack Ryan movie in particular is just terrible. And honestly, I think there's a lot of weird sort of love for the Harrison Ford ones now, but the honest truth is, these are not that great. This is the best. This is definitive Jack Ryan film. The Humphrey Act Red October introduced Alec Baldwin as Jack Ryan. You can see him in the image here. This is a really great cast also. We have Sean Connery, Scott Glenn, all, and of course James Earl Jones, Darth Vader himself, are all in this film. This is directed by John McTiernan, who directed, most famously, probably Predator. In the 80s and 90s, this guy really was making some great films, and then his career just sort of took a downturn, and he was never able to recover. So anyway, here is the front of the Steelbook. Here is the spine. You know, you got your 4K Ultra HD there, and Paramount logo. There you go. Here's the back. I think this Steelbook is okay. I mean, it's okay. I'm not like, you know, really totally blown away and enamored by it. So let me just try and open. There we go. Got it open. Here's the inside of the Steelbook. We get no artwork here. We get this 4K. That's a reissue. And this Blu-ray that is also a reissue. And the artwork there with the sub is kind of hard to see, but it is there. So my overall impression of this Steelbook is, okay, it's fine. You know, I'm not like really blown away by it, but I'm happy to be able to own this movie and not have to buy all the others. So that is the main reason for purchasing. I have gone through the bonus features, and I'm going to watch the movie very shortly, and then I'll give you a review. We'll do a bonus features breakdown and that kind of thing. So Humphrey Act October. I don't think this is a Best Buy exclusive, though. I think you'll find it at Best Buy easiest, but this is a Paramount Steelbook. So there's that. All right. So I picked up the Mondo release of A Quiet Place. You've probably seen this in other videos. This one was kind of crazy popular when it came out. Everyone was purchasing this one. If you're not familiar with Mondo, they are sort of a graphic design group, and they do some really cool reissues, because this was out in Steelbook before, by the way. The thing that Mondo does that's great, that I wish every company would do with the Steelbook, is they give us this clear slipcover, and you'll see. All right, if I can pull it off here, so you can see it's sort of sliding up there. I'm gonna see if I can just pull it off one-handed here. Can I do it? There we go, it's sliding out now. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. There we go. So there's the clear slipcover, and then here's the actual Steelbook. And this slipcover actually also acts as a J card. It's got the specs on the back. It's got a write-up there and the special features. So here's the actual Steelbook. Now, I love the Mondo Steelbooks because, or just the Mondo art. It doesn't have to be a Steelbook, but I like it because it is usually more subtle and art-focused. And if you have seen the film, then you know why these bulbs are important. There is the back. Okay, got their logo there. And here's actually, that was the spine. This is actually the back. So we've got more barbed wire, the bulbs, and the grass there. This is a very beautiful, subtle design for A Quiet Place. This was done, obviously, as a promotion for the upcoming, sorry about that pop there, for the upcoming release of the sequel. And of course now, as I record this, the coronavirus situation has locked that movie down indefinitely. So we don't know when it's coming, but I'm happy to have this Steelbook here. Also, which is really cool, is new artwork. This was done, I mean, these are obviously going to be the reissues of the 4K and Blu-ray that was out before, but at least they gave us a new pressing with new artwork. So we've got the bulb there for the 4K. And then we have the bulb here for the Blu-ray. Sorry about this, guys. I know this is some amazing camera work here. You gotta love it. And then you can see the inside there. I don't know if I will do a bonus feature breakdown on this one or not, because we've seen this movie. This 4K has been out for a very long time. This is just a cool version of it. So it's a beautiful Steelbook. I mean, there's no denying this is a beautiful presentation. So if you don't own A Quiet Place, this is the version to get. You get the Blu-ray and the 4K. One thing I can tell you right away that makes this 4K worth having, I mean, it's a beautiful transfer, but this Atmos sound mix on this is demo worthy. This is home theater worthy. So if you have an Atmos capable home theater, then you should own this movie. You should own this 4K in particular. Okay, so I finally got around to picking up the Boys in the Hood 4K release. They have, I think they have just a regular release, and then they have the Steelbook. This Steelbook is nice. That's the front. Here's the back. I kind of like the map design that gives us focus in on the area where the story is set. There's your spine. The front is okay. You know, it's a sort of this floating head thing, and I get tired of the floating head actor thing. It's interesting to look at these actors where they were then versus where they are now. A lot of people in this film really blew up after it, Ice Cube in particular. And this was his first acting role, and he's very good in it. I mean, especially when you realize that was the first acting role he ever had. John Singleton, to me, and there will be people who disagree with me, but John Singleton hit his peak with this film. He never did another film as good as this one, and he did this at 22. I think maybe because this was his most honest film. It wasn't that this had an agenda, political or social agenda. This was him telling stories of the real world that he was most familiar with. So it just feels like a very honest film. It feels also melodramatic now, all these years later, but it still feels meaningful and honest, even with its melodrama. No Lawrence Fishburne here on the cover, but he is in this film also, and he's great. So this inside of this feels very cheap. I feel shortchanged a little bit. No inside artwork. We've got no disc art for the Blu-ray or the 4K. The Blu-ray is obviously a reissue of the previous Blu-ray that we had, and then just got basic presentation here for the 4K. Kind of reminds me of a Shop Factory Steelbook. All we need is a quote here from the movie. I mean, at least they would have taken the time to put a quote. I always say that about Shop Factory. They might not give us internal artwork, but at least they take that time and put a quote there. So this is a classic film. It's not a cult classic. This is a true classic, very defining moment in cinema, this film. This brought this kind of story to the forefront and made it important and made people pay attention and made John Singleton an icon of cinema. Great film, and this is a decent release. Now, the last film here I have is this one. Is a very catalog release. It's been out for a long time, but as you know, if you've watched the show regularly, that I'm trying to convert some of my original, my favorite MCU films from Phase 1 and 2 to 4K. Not all of them, just my favorites. And this Iron Man 3, there you go, it's the front and of course the back. This is again, this has been out for a very long time. I just didn't own it, and they had a good sale at Best Buy, so I picked it up. Sorry about the noises, you guys. Open it up. There's the internal artwork. I'm not like the biggest fan of this artwork, but I'm happy that there's something, you know. This artwork I like much better. And I like this internal artwork. This is cool. So I picked it up mainly just to fill out my collection. So that's the reason that this is here. And again, they had a good sale for some reason. These things don't come down in price at Best Buy. They all stay in that $32 to $35 range. It's like the Disney model for selling physical media. So when I can see these at a good price, I get them. The first two, Iron Man 1 and 2, I have steelbooks of those in 4K also, but I picked those up on Macari. So there is Iron Man 3, Boys in the Hood, Quiet Place, I haven't put that slip back on yet, and Hunt for Red October. That's my most current Best Buy haul, 4K releases. Very excited to add these. I'm going to have plenty of time to watch them. I'm probably most excited to rewatch Humphrey Red October because I haven't seen it in many, many years. And then after that, Boys in the Hood, and then I'll do these two films because it's kind of my rule that if I buy it, I watch it. I don't believe in buying things for my collection that I'm not actually watching. So I'll be watching all of these very shortly. And if you want feedback on any of them, let me know. I'm going to do a bonus feature breakdown on this one and probably this one. These two are very, very catalog-y releases, and they've been covered a lot. If you want to hear about the bonus features or anything related to any of those, let me know. So if you haven't already, please follow me over on Instagram. I put pictures of these things as I purchase them, and sometimes I'll put pictures of things that I don't even cover on the YouTube show. So leave it in the comments. Let me know what you thought of this haul, and if you want to hear anything specific about any of these films. Please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll hear or get updates on everything coming. I hope everyone's doing all right, being safe and watching films. Until next we meet, pull something cool off the shelf, share it with your friends and family, and remind them why physical media, especially now in these times, is the best way to watch film and TV. I'll see you guys on the next video.